And welcome to the Citizen Report Special Bulletin. I'm Jonathan Shannon, and thank you for joining me tonight. As always, this newscast is real, in-depth American. Thank you so much for joining me. My co-host David Heller is off tonight. I wanted to come on here with this brief special bulletin to tell you that there is now formal word tonight that Ruth Bader Ginsburg, a Supreme Court Justice for the United States, has now officially passed. Apparently, word is breaking within the last few minutes, really. I just got word of it maybe about half an hour ago, give or take. And there had been rumors for some time swirling, although in the last few days, I will say there was very, very little, if any. The only indication something might have been happening, although not specific to her, was the fact that the president apparently updated his short list for Supreme Court Justice nominees. And there was nothing to really indicate that there was anything happening with Ruth Bader Ginsburg. But of course, tonight we get formal word from the mainstream media that she has now passed. We have heard for some time things, as a matter of fact, for well over a year, better part of 2 years, really. But it is now tonight. There is no question. She is now passed. So this has major implications. This has major implications having to do with potentially President Trump nominating another Supreme Court justice. And we will have to see how this all plays out, because if there's one thing that it's pretty much a given, the deep state, the Democrats, they're not going to want to give Trump any advantage whatsoever. So I would fully expect they're going to try to do whatever they can to prevent Trump from getting someone, a replacement, sworn in as a Supreme Court justice. We'll have, as I said, we'll have to see how this all plays out. This is literally just breaking. I don't have a lot of information to pass along to you. I did hear, see on Fox News at least, that they are saying that she apparently passed due to cancer complications. So we will, of course, keep tabs on this, and there will be a full broadcast coming up this weekend. Really, it is the weekend now, but there will be a full broadcast this weekend. I do believe my co-host David Heller will be on with me to do that full broadcast, and we will make sure to cover this as well. And we will monitor this to see what comes of it, because obviously with it less than 2 months now to the general election, it's certainly not out of the question that that President Trump can nominate a replacement. I would would not be surprised if he goes ahead with that. But of course, the Democrats will probably do whatever they can to stop Trump from getting another Supreme Court justice, because undoubtedly whoever he nominates will likely just bolster the opposition, if you will, to bolster the opposition to murdering unborn children, babies, through abortion, I should say. And that is to say. And so, as I said, we will be keeping an eye on this. And just to tell you as well, I was going to hold off on this until the full broadcast. And if I remember to, I'll try to make sure to include this as well. But there is a lot of a fair degree of concern going around right now about Q, because Q has made a post basically talking about drop all references to Q. Now, I will just say on that note that what Q is saying with regards to that, and of course, if I remember to, I'll make sure to include the post, and we'll talk about it this weekend on a full broadcast. But basically, Q is basically telling people, to drop, to basically, this is, we're going to have to adapt here to avoid being censored and banned off of social media, because social media does not want the facts coming out about the deep state. So obviously, Q is now saying, go ahead and drop all references to Q, because there are people who are brainwashed, who don't really understand what's going on in the world, who have been told by the mainstream media that Q is a certain thing when it's not. So Q is saying that he is not saying, and let me be very clear here, Q is not saying whatsoever that he's going anywhere. He's just saying, look, when you're on social media, he's just telling us to go ahead and drop all references to Q. That way you can circumvent their censorship. So we'll talk about this more on the full broadcast, but I just wanted to make mention of that because I knew people had been concerned for some time about that. But I would just say, don't worry. Q is not going anywhere. There's no reason for Q to go anywhere. Q is just telling us to adapt, drop all references to him, but keep putting the truth out there because, and I believe Q also shared an anonymous post, and the anonymous post was basically saying, look, it's the idea that matters. So obviously we are in very tumultuous times right now because the mainstream media, the deep state, they are in full panic. And I saw just last night an attack on Q, and actually an attack on the Save Our Children movement on an ABC affiliate in Denver, Colorado, that is. They basically did a hit piece on Q and indirectly sort of masquerading it in a way, but basically what could only be described as an attack on the Save Our Children movement. So for sure, the mainstream media is clearly shaken. They are in panic because, the pedophilia is being brought down. When you hurt children, that is a whole other ball game. And the deep state does not want that, does not want the harm against children being brought to an end. So, and of course, we will have a full recap on all this and other events taking place, other news of the week. I do appreciate you listening, watching. I'm not on camera this time because I'm actually in my car recording this. I wanted to get this out as quickly as I could. But that I will, of course, update you this weekend on everything I just mentioned and other things. And on that note, that is this special bulletin of the Citizen Report. I'm Jonathan Shannon. Thank you for joining me. And for David Heller and myself, have a great night, a great weekend. God bless each and every one of you. And we will see you, Lord willing, on the full broadcast this weekend on the Citizen Report. And have a good night, and we will see you then. Have a good night, everyone.